All right, let's talk about the incredible story of social media. It's such a huge part of our daily lives, right? But how it got from a simple idea to this global force? Well, that journey is way more fascinating than you might think. Let's get into it.
Think about it. You scroll, you post, you share stuff, probably without giving it a second thought. But have you ever actually wondered where it all came from? How did we get from that old-school dial-up internet to having this instant global connection in our hands? Let's find out. So, Section 1, from dial-up to your pocket. We're going to rewind the clock a bit and see how we went from being tethered to a slow computer to getting instant updates wherever we are.
In the very beginning, social media was purely a desktop thing. You'd have to log on after school, mostly just to connect with people you already knew. Then, things got bigger. Platforms started speaking different languages, and suddenly they were global. But the real game changer? That was the smartphone. All of a sudden, our social networks were right there with us 24/7.
And this really shows you just how different the whole experience was. Back then, checking your profile was something you planned to do. Now, it's just woven into pretty much every moment of the day. It went from something you do to a constant stream of information, all thanks to that little device in your pocket.
Okay, Section 2, the algorithm. Now we're going to pull back the curtain and look at the powerful, invisible code that's basically deciding what you see every single time you open an app.
You know that feeling, right? You watch just one video about, baking, and suddenly your entire feed is an endless stream of cakes and cookies. That's not magic or a coincidence. That's the algorithm at work. So what is it exactly? Well, think of an algorithm as a super smart sorting machine. It's a complex computer program, and its job is to pay very close attention to everything you do, every like, every share, how long you watch a video. Its one and only goal is to figure out what you enjoy. So here's how it all goes down, in 4 pretty simple steps. First, you just interact with stuff. The algorithm sees that, and it starts taking notes on your interests. Then it uses those notes to serve you more content it thinks you'll like. And why does it do all this? Because its main goal is to keep you on the platform for as long as possible. The more engaged you are, the better the algorithm thinks it's doing its job.
Moving on to Section 3, a new connected world. Beyond the tech itself, let's talk about the human impact. Because social media has totally changed the way we find our communities and share what we're passionate about.
And this is where you see the real power of connection. It doesn't matter how specific your hobby is, a certain video game, a book series, whatever, there is an online community for it. It honestly makes the world feel smaller and helps people find others who just get it.
This also points to one of the biggest shifts ever. It used to be we just consumed media from big companies, but now anyone can be a creator. You can share your skills, your comedy, your art, and you can build a global audience right from your own room. This has completely changed who gets to have a voice.
And let's not forget, it's also become this massive learning tool. Teachers use it to share assignments. Creators make these amazing videos that break down tough subjects, and museums let you walk through their collections from thousands of miles away. It's basically a global classroom if you know where to look. Okay, Section 4, staying healthy and safe online. We've talked about all the good stuff, but it's just as important to talk about the challenges. Because being online comes with real responsibilities, and knowing how to navigate it all safely is a super critical skill. I think we've all felt some of this. There's that pressure of comparing your normal, everyday life to someone else's perfect highlight reel. There's FOMO, that fear of missing out when you see friends hanging out without you. And then there are really serious issues like cyberbullying and the risk of oversharing personal info. Just being aware of these things is the first step. But the good news is, you are in control. You can set time limits on apps to make sure you take breaks. You can remind yourself that what you see online is almost never the full story. Most importantly, you can use your privacy settings to decide who sees your stuff. And always talk to a parent, a teacher, or another adult you trust if anything online makes you feel uncomfortable. Which brings us to Section 5, becoming a smarter user. This is all about building your personal toolkit, because being a smart digital user isn't just about safety. It's about learning to think critically about every piece of information you see. The key skill here has a name. It's called digital literacy, and honestly, it's like a modern superpower. It just means you know how to find good information, figure out if it's trustworthy, and then share it in a responsible way. In today's world, this is just as essential as knowing how to read and write, for real. So let's break it down. A fact is something that can be proven true.
If you see something that claims to be a fact, the smart move is to double-check it with a few other reliable sources. An opinion is just how someone feels. Look for phrases like "I think" or "I believe." In fake news, that's stuff that's flat-out false, designed to mislead you. Watch out for super emotional language, and always check the source.
And a huge part of all this is simply being a good digital citizen. It really boils down to this: be kind. The way you treat people in comments and messages really matters. Just think before you type.
And finally, Section 6, what does the future hold? So, where is all this headed? I mean, the world of social media is always changing. Let's take a quick peek at what might be just around the corner.
Well, the future is probably going to be way more immersive. Imagine hanging out with your friends in actual virtual reality spaces. Artificial intelligence, or AI, is going to get even smarter, maybe even helping create the content we watch. And honestly, the most popular platform 10 years from now might be one that hasn't even been invented yet.
So, that leaves us with this final thought. The technology will keep changing, that's a guarantee. The real question isn't what the tech will be, but how we, all of us, choose to use it. How will we use it to build communities, share ideas, and connect with each other in a positive way? The future really is in our hands.